All right, so we got what is it really like to be a Chaos Space Marine in Warhammer 40K lore. Shout out to weshammer. Let's get to videos.
In the grimdark future of Warhammer 40K is
Okay.
pretty miserable, but
It
there
is.
are some places that are far worse than others. And by far the worst place to live is the nightmare realm known as the Eye of Terror, a wound in reality where the physical and immaterial universes overlap. That was, fun fact, created when a bunch of space elves murder-banged a chaos god into existence.
I'm gonna be honest with you. That shirt is absolutely amazing. That shirt looks crazy. Is that his merch or is that just like a natural? Man, that design looks crazy.
It's a place that's chock full of nightmare planets, hordes of demons, legions of heretics, cosmic horrors of every shape and form, and whatever the fuck-oly instances.
Ew.
This is where the Chaos Space Marines reside, and carving out an existence in this nightmare realm is not an easy thing to do. So what does their life actually look like? How do they...
Hell. That's what it looks like. Hell. Wasn't I'm pretty sure what's his name? Oh my god, the guy that beefed with the Emperor. Harry. Oh my god, what's his name? He managed to convince like 9 of like the primarchs to go up against the Emperor. Was it Horus? Horus. Was he a Chaos Space Marine? Because he did use the Chaos, right? And he technically was he was a Primarch. He wasn't a Space Marine. But like, was he like, he counted, right?
end up here in the first place, and what kind of horrible things are they forced to do in order to survive? Well, in this video, we're going to be getting to the bottom of that and a whole lot more.
Okay.
By putting ourselves directly in the shoes of a Chaos champion and following him throughout his career as he becomes a powerful warlord and slips further and further into damnation. This video is going to be a little bit different than the other ones I've made in the past, as everything that we're going to talk about today actually comes from a single source, a random obscure post that was made 10 years ago on the website hammerandbolter.com in a thread titled Misconceptions About the Chaos Space Marines. And of all people, the person who left this post was Aaron Dembski-Bowden, one of Black Library's premier authors and an absolute expert in all things chaos. Now, I stumbled across this a few years ago, and it's always stuck out to me as one of the most insightful pieces of chaos media that exists.
I'm gonna be honest with you, right? Whenever it comes down to like the chaos and stuff like that, I'm gonna be real with you, bro. Man, bro, when I first even heard about like what goes on in the chaos, like the 4 menaces, like the slaanesh, khorne, the guy that wants you to like, you know, worship him and stuff like that, and then the other guy that got like the big mouth that's like the stomach, he just looks absolutely disgusting. I'm sorry, bro, I don't want no beef with you, but like, bro, learning like what goes on in there and stuff like that, and then like I think they said like whatever like you manifest or whatever, like whatever like you think about, like turns into like a reality in there. And like a lot of people have like negative mindsets, so like a lot of negative stuff like, you know, comes about in like the chaos and stuff like that. Bro, oh man, bro, and bro, listen, that freak slaanesh, oh my goodness gracious, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro, I wouldn't even imagine what the chaos smell like.
And
oh my
I wanted
goodness.
to make it into a video so more people would hear what he had to say. I've left a link to the original post in the description of this video if you want to check it out for yourself. So with all that out of the way, let's find out what it's actually like to be a Chaos Space Marine. But first, I'm just gonna be honest with you, I got bills to pay. So a quick...
Brother. Yo, Wes, you don't have to explain nothing to me. Brother, I know. Don't, bro, you don't gotta be like, hey guys, real quick, you know, I gotta pay bill. Brother, pay your bills. Don't, but hey, I understand. Hey, brother, listen, you like you're like, you know, you're like a 30-year-old man. No, you know, no offense or whatever. Listen, I'm getting there too, bro. Bills. Yeah, they coming. Yeah, hey, these bills, they won't stop. Listen, brother, you don't gotta listen. Don't explain nothing to me. I know.
Shout out to this video sponsor, and then we're gonna dive headfirst.
Facts. Hey, I know.
This video is sponsored by Into the AM, makers of all of the dope graphics.
But real quick though, you know, I got bills to pay too. Bro, listen, first of all, shout out to everybody who's been watching all the videos. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for all the support over the Warhammer videos, Fortnite gameplay trailers, etc. By the way, I will be doing playing some Fortnite later today. Bro, that new ballistic mode looks absolutely amazing. I'm gonna try that out. If I have fun with it, I'm gonna have fun with it. Other than that, man, make sure you guys go follow my Twitch Twitch at twitch.tv/kingandy with 2 Y's. Look at the bottom of the screen. Go check it out. Other than that, yeah, I think I'm done with my ad.
Or shrinking at all. If you want to pick up some of these amazing shirts for yourself, but also want to save a bit of money, then you can take advantage of Into the
And if you don't
custom
follow my
pack
Twitch,
deals,
bro,
where you
something
can
really
pick
bad
and
gonna
choose
happen
shirts
to you
that
tomorrow
want
night.
and bundle
And
them
bro,
together.
and tomorrow's the Game
They
Awards.
have a lot of
Man,
different packs that
man,
you
that's
can
the
make.
biggest night
Whether
in
you're into
gaming.
graphic
Bro, I
tees,
heard that
their
we're gonna
more
get something
casual
crazy
basic
tomorrow
tees,
too.
Polos, tanks, button-ups, or even underwear. And if you want to save even more, you can use my personal link in the description of this video or code weshammer at checkout to save an additional
Hey, Weshammer
10%
paying
off
bills
your
out here.
order. And remember, that code works site-wide. Now, personally, I like to go to their
Hey guys, should
on-sale
I
section
start a merch
and then
up? I
use
kind of
my
do want to
code
start a
on top
merch
of the
up.
discounts that
Man,
are
bro,
already
listen.
there to get
If
some
I start a
pretty
merch up, bro,
incredible
you guys gonna have to
deals. What
come
can I
through and
say?
deliver,
I'm a
right?
savvy and frugal t-shirt fan. Go check out intotheam.com today and elevate your style. Click on the link in the description of this video or use code weshammer at checkout to save 10% off your entire order. Big thanks to Into the AM for sponsoring this video. It is the 14th year of the 31st millennium.
Here we go.
The dreaded War Master Horus Lupercal and his army of traitors and heretics has made its way all the way to the gates of Terra. This includes you, a Wordbearer's champion known as Helican the Mourner. You co-lead a company of Marines within a Wordbearer's chapter known as the Sacred Phoenix, alongside your most trusted brother, Captain Villis, a man that you have fought beside for decades, and the two of you have saved each other's lives more often than you both care to count. You trust him more than anyone else you have ever known. Although you and your forces fought with all of your might, the Loyalists eventually emerged victorious. After the Emperor killed Horus, everything started to fall apart in quick succession. In order to survive, you and your men fled the planet. You and all of the other traitors eventually being pushed into exile within the Eye of Terror in an event known as the Scouring. A lot of time passes, first decades and then centuries, and things look pretty.
Bro, imagine looking out the window and this is what you see. Oh man, bro. Bro, take me out, bro. I'm not even trying to be vulgar, man. Take me out. If I look out the window and I see that like we're surrounded by this, bro, this is hell on earth.
Bleak, and resources and territory are scarce within this thrice damned wound in reality. But you and Villis were never ones to give up that easily. Things have changed, and you and the men under your command have to do what needs to be done in order to survive. So you begin to prey upon the Sons of Horus. They took some of the biggest losses of all during the siege, and after having lost their primarch, are now a broken shell of their former selves. They're an easy target. Now maybe you justify your actions as simply being done out of survival. It's either you or them. Maybe it's a desire for strength that motivates you, and they have ships, weapons, and resources that you can utilize. Or maybe it's something far more petty. Maybe you still hold a grudge. From your perspective, you would have won on Terra if it hadn't been for Horus's weakness.
Stop. All these guys are absolute bums. Hey, Horus, he lost. He took the loss to the chin. Literally, man, he got uppercutted like, bro, Hadouken. Let's be real, bro. None of these guys, bro, come on, bro. Stop that. These guys are absolute bumps. If any of you guys were to step up and be like, oh, well, if I was in power, we would have won. Man, you would have got Thanos snapped. Stop that, bro.
If his sons hadn't broken when
Stop
he died,
that immediately.
things would
Stop
have been
that.
Different. Maybe you blame the traitors' failure on their cowardice. You kill them and take their ships, their worlds, their fortresses, and their equipment. All of this has certainly expanded your power, but you realize that you're going to need allies. Your thoughts turn towards the Dark Mechanicum, as they have the only functioning Forge worlds within the Eye of Terror, and would make for some pretty powerful allies. Sometimes you make deals with them, whereas other times you invade their worlds for supplies. Sometimes the Dark Mechanicum breaks their oath to you, screwing you over in the process, because that particular forge got a better offer from a stronger warband. Or maybe they just secretly hated you all along and were just looking for an excuse to end your relationship.
Bro, big bank take little bank. That's basically what Weshammer just said in the clearest words. Big bank take little bank, literally.
As time goes on, you raid the Imperium over and over, whether it be for supplies, slaves, or territory. Sometimes you do it simply out of the need for vengeance or a desire to teach the unworthy servants of the Corpse Emperor the truth behind reality. Maybe you dedicate your raids to the glory of the Dark Gods. Maybe it's to humiliate a rival you lost a fight to long ago. Or maybe you do it because several of the aspiring champions and squad leaders under your command have been whispering behind your back, They're spreading rumors that you're weak and need to be replaced. You need to show your strength. Soldiers need victories. So you make alliances with warbands from other legions. Maybe it's to group up against a more serious enemy, consider them your allies. Sometimes you break some of those promises you made, and maybe an opportunity presents itself where you realize it's better for you to just kill your former allies and take for yourself their territory, ships, and weapons. Whereas with
Sorry
other
about that,
allies,
y'all.
you refuse to ever betray them. You have fought by their side through hell itself. You are God's damned brothers in arms, and you would die for them. Only for a few thousand years later, you end up killing them. Because you learn that.
I mean, bro, a lot of things can change in a few thousand years. I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, well, listen. Obviously, I'm a human, so man, bro, it's between 80 and 100. That's where we get to the danger zone. Well, not really danger zone, you know. Especially like if you got like beliefs or whatever, then yeah, then maybe some people just accept it for the way it is. But for some people, man, they get to like what level 80 and beyond. That's when they start thinking, oh, it might be up for us. So listen, but at the same time, though. He is right. Things can change. I mean, between like a couple thousand years or whatever, you could support somebody, and then like what 2,000 to 3,000 years later, I mean, you're doing them the worst way. So at the end of the day, it's treacherous.
They were planning to betray you first. A surprise attack was imminent, and you had to act.
True.
Only
Yeah. Okay.
maybe that wasn't actually true. Maybe you had been deceived by a third party, a different warband leader, a demon, or another potential ally. But maybe they really were planning on attacking, and maybe they would have won, leaving you either dead in the dirt or having to retreat with half of your fleet and resources. This kind of thing happens a lot within the Eye of Terror. You feel like you're fighting warbands from other legions constantly. For every alliance that you forge, you end up having to fight half a dozen battles. But you aren't the only Wordbearer's warband operating within the Eye. Sometimes you come into contact with other word-bearer companies, chapters, or hosts that are pursuing their own agendas and waging their own wars. Sometimes you join up with them, you share news of the Legion's movements, and you view them as your blood brothers. But other times, it's not that simple. These word-bearers worship a different cult and creed than you do. And although you're both servants of chaos, the little differences in your faith are causing a lot of friction. Just like how in the real world,
I was just about to say that. Yo, Wes, you just took the words out of my mouth. Just like how in the real world, how people have different religious beliefs, man, some people, they will crash out. Some people will crash out just because you don't believe in what they believe in. It's crazy, man. For real. He literally just took the words out of my mouth, bro. Literally. I was just about to say that. I was about to pause the video to say that. That's crazy.
every major religion has tons of splinter branches that sometimes come into conflict with one another.
Yeah.
It is the same with the worship of chaos, simply on a much more massive scale. Maybe these word-bearers rely too much on Tzeentch's sorcery for your tastes, using his gifts to peer into the future in order to win battles, and you think this makes them weak, whereas they see your view that Khorne is actually an honorable and noble god as particularly deluded. Maybe you
Okay, so there's like, so different people see Khorne as like different things, basically. Okay. I mean, technically, you can look at anything like that. Like, I mean, that's in real life or whatever. You can look at anything from this angle, but at the same time, your friend can look at this same person and be like, oh, well, that person was horrible to me. Oh no, bro, he's horrible to you, but that person was amazing to me. So it's always like, it's like that one saying, like you're like the hero in somebody else's story and you're the villain in somebody else's story. You get what I'm saying? So, okay, I understand that.
both view each other as taking
I
your
understand
faith
that.
too far, or perhaps not far enough.
I understand that.
You both have evidence that the other warband is weak. Maybe you attempt to work through your differences. You meet on neutral ground, and the discussion turns into an all-out firefight. Maybe you're able to reconcile those differences in the name of your primarch and become brothers for the next 3,000 years, both answering each other's call for aid, and eventually even merging into a new host of two chapters bonded by absolute loyalty. Maybe this alliance will last for a year, or maybe until the end of time. During your time within the Eye, there will sometimes be calls for aid from other Wordbearers chapters, and you will have to make a tough decision. Sometimes you set everything you were doing aside and immediately go to their aid, bringing everything you have to bear because it doesn't matter that they're from a different chapter. You're part of the same legion, and damn it, that matters to you. However, other times you don't answer. You pretend like you never received the call because you realize if they get butchered, then swooping in to claim all of their territory and resources will be 1,000 times easier. So you instead sit and wait like a hungry vulture.
I can't lie to you, that's what I would do. I'm not that type of guy, bro, but like in Warhammer, bro, man, bro. The thing is, right, obviously for Vulcan, bro, I'm sick, bro, if he needs to be saved, bro, I'm saving him. But man, like in Warhammer, bro, like that's just how things are. Like, you know, like and like the whole third party thing, like, you know, like how there's like third party in like Call of Duty or like Warzone or Fortnite, whatever. That's how it is, bro. Like that's what I would do, bro. I let them two beef it out. Okay, cool. All right. Even though this team won, they're a little weak. So guess what? We're gonna jump them. Like, yeah, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's what me and my squad's doing. I don't know about you guys, but that's what. Listen, we're doing it. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Other times, you truly do want to help them, but the warp can be
Hate the
finicky,
game.
and its tides end up delaying you by several years. You show up too late. And other times, you block the call as soon as you see
y'all,
who's
give me 1
sending
second.
it. Because those guys are a bunch of oath breakers and heretics. They were a nasty splinter faction,
Yep.
dangerously disloyal, and you wanted them dead anyways. Except maybe they don't end up getting slaughtered. Maybe they win that fight without you, and now they declare you as the oath breaker.
Beef.
And they tell all of the other word bearers warbands of your treachery. Now, it's not just them coming after you, but a plethora of other word bearers host as well, unified in their hatred of you.
The entire
You're a
squad
nasty
coming for
splinter
you.
faction, dangerously disloyal, and you need to be destroyed. But maybe loyalty and your oaths meant something to you after all. Maybe you did go to their aid that day, but when you showed up, you found out that it was a Word Bearers chapter known as the Dark Maw, and they were fighting against a Death Guard chapter known as the Venomous Rune. And wouldn't you know it, you owe your allegiance to both sides. The only honor...
Oh man, see that. I gotta make sure my mic is on real quick. Give me 1 second, cause I'm like muting and stuff like that. Man, that's a horrible situation to be in, bro. Especially in real life. Like if you have two friends that are beefing, ooh, and like you have loyalty for both people, man, that's tough, man. That's a tough situation. You can't really get into that. You can't really jump into that situation. That's a horrible situation to be in, man.
thing to do
Horrible.
would be to sit the fight out.
Yep.
Or maybe you do choose a side. Maybe you attack your own kind, throwing your law in with the Venomous Rune as you have an oath of brotherhood with them from a past campaign. You might not think much of the Death Guard warband's faith, their creeds, or their personal hygiene, but they are proven allies.
Oh, I know they
They
stink.
have fought by your side dozens of times in the past. From where you're standing, the alliances you forged in blood and fire during your time within the Eye of Terror are what ultimately matters to you. You just met the Dark Maw. They may be from the same legion, but you don't owe them a damn thing. Or maybe you do. Maybe you are ultimately loyal only to your bloodline, knowing that it will never fail you. So, although you take no joy in it, you aid the Dark Maw, and together you obliterate your former allies. Sometime later, tragedy strikes.
That's a
Captain
nasty
Villas,
situation,
your
though.
oldest friend,
It's a nasty
and co-leader
situation.
of the chapter, is assassinated, leaving you the sole commander of the entire host. You find yourself suddenly a lot more powerful than you were yesterday, but also a lot more vulnerable. And the aspiring champions within your ranks can smell your weakness. Now is the chance that they have been waiting for. They make their move. Rumors start spreading like wildfire throughout your fleet that you are unfit for duty. They point to all of the oaths that you have broken, to all of the battles that didn't go in your favor. There's a good portion of your warband that desires to replace you, and they don't really care if this slander is fact or fiction. But maybe all of this is just in your head. Maybe all of the choices that you have made have instilled a great deal of respect in the men that you lead into battle, and you're freaking out over glances and stilted conversations and spy reports for nothing. Either way, you can't take that risk, so you form an elite guard of 20 of your absolute best warriors, and you gift each and every one of them a suit of Terminator armor. But what if you can't trust them either? What if one of them is actually planning your assassination, and now all you've done is put them in the perfect place to carry out their grisly mission?
Bro, this entire thing, bro, not even just the chaos, but just like this entire franchise is a cutthroat franchise. It is what it is. Like, it's cool to have friends or whatever, but just like my precious, the salamanders, bro, they even got traded on. They got hit from the back. Ooh, that did not sound right. Yeah, but they got hit from the back. Pause. Like, bro, this whole franchise is cutthroat no matter what. So at the end of the day, bro, like, it's tough, bro. Like, you can trust people, but at the same time, they might betray. Like, it's a nasty franchise, bro.
You've
It's
basically
nasty,
just handed
bro.
them your head on a silver platter. You don't have time to worry about that though. There is a mutiny coming. You know this to be true. The rumors are getting worse. The men are saying that the host is taking too many casualties, specifically because you're holding back your elite squads to protect you rather than teleporting them in for a precision strike. Is this true? Or is it that the ship is just so old and damaged that large portions of it are no longer working properly, including your teleporter arrays? Maybe your ship is becoming even more sentient as time goes on. At this point, it's basically alive and half a demon. Every minute it spends within the eye, it becomes harder and harder to control. So how do you fix this? Well, maybe you spend even more resources to gain access to an ancient tome full of sorceress techniques that will help you bind demons more successfully.
That book like it stank.
Your fleet's mutation. Or maybe you decide that the secrets within your newly acquired journal would be better used controlling your rowdy crew. But you're just a fledgling sorcerer at this point, and you're not powerful enough to control everyone. The rumors keep on gestating. Now your men think that you're over-reliant on magic to solve all of your problems. Is what they say true? No, of course in Warband. How can your men not see that? Maybe some do, and maybe some others are still planning on killing you. A few more years go by. A Black Crusade is called. Maybe it's one of Abaddon's or another individual of great power. The campaign lasts for 24 years and covers battles on 30 worlds. Now, at one point during the Crusade, you end up getting attacked by an Emperor's Children warband. For the life of you, you can't remember ever doing anything to offend these guys. So why are they attacking? Maybe they think you're weak. Maybe those rumors that were circulating on your ship have spread far past your realm of influence.
You cannot be weak in Warhammer. If you are weak, you're done. If you are weak in this, bro, this is what I tell you all the time. Your weak primarch, this is why they're not successful. They always getting jumped. Because at the end of the day, bro, if your primarch is weak, bro, if your team is weak, if your team is vulnerable, it's over. Bro, you cannot be weak in this franchise at all, bro. Period.
And
literally
taking on a life of their own. Or maybe a different warband hired them as mercenaries to attack you. Who was it? Who hired them? Is this just the precursor to
He looked like the Joker.
Assault? Why weren't you informed of this? How did you not see this coming? Your spy network didn't warn you of this attack. It came out of nowhere. Maybe your spies can't be trusted. Maybe you decide to have them all executed and replaced with new, more trustworthy spies. At one point during the Crusade, you end up allying with a cabal of Thousand Sun sorcerers and their host of Rubric Marines. You combine all of your ships, resources, and manpower into an exceptional fighting force, and over the years, you develop an incredibly strong bond with them. Your loyalty forged in the crucible of war. Like you have been forced to do in the past, you could have betrayed them a dozen times over, but you don't. Further, you end up risking everything to save them on multiple occasions, and they do the same for you.
Real quick, you have to understand that there's always a risk to everything. There's risk to love. There's risk to betrayal. To trust. There's risk to a lot of things. And obviously the bad part about about love is that some people can use it and abuse it and go against you, right? Trusting, the same thing. Some people can betray you. Some people can use you, abuse you. The same thing. At the end of the day, this franchise, Warhammer, there's no trust. There is no love. Yeah, somebody can be loyal to you for 1,000 years, and guess what? In 2203, they can betray on you. It is what it is. That's what it's like. I'm trying to tell you, as a Warhammer new booty, this is what I'm learning. I'm learning that guess what? When they piece it up and side with each other, bro, guess what? Bro, they're gonna break up just like Drake and Kanye. Like, what are we talking about, bro? They did that one thing and it was over. And Warhammer, y'all can collaborate, bro. Y'all can beat 1,000 armies with each other. Guess what? Oh, this person doesn't like this person, and they're beefing, whatever. Oh, that friendship is over, or not even friendship, but that trusting little thing, it's over. So at the end of the day, bro, there is no trust, there is no nothing in this franchise, bro. That's what I'm learning right now.
Except maybe at one point you do decide to betray them in order to steal all of their sorceress lore. Maybe you slaughtered them to a man after they had been weakened from trying to help you. No one will ever know of this dark deed, and you get away with it cleanly, never hearing about the incident again. Except maybe 1,000 years later, the Thousand Suns come seeking revenge in full force to annihilate you. Or maybe it's a different Thousand Suns warband that approaches you. They offer you aid as payment for destroying their hated rivals. Maybe another Wordbearer's warband ends up paying the price for your treachery, the Thousand Sons wiping them out entirely, believing it was them who attacked and not you. Now, after the Crusade is over and you're back in the Eye of Terror, the Black Legion comes to your stronghold. They show up in force and offer you a choice. You and your host can wear the black and be folded into the Legion, or be destroyed. Maybe you refuse, maybe you manage to negotiate peacefully, or maybe you have to run. Maybe you manage to escape, or maybe they catch you and this is where your journey ends. Your host is finally destroyed. Or maybe you do accept their offer. Maybe you and everyone under your command paints their armor black and is now officially part of the Black Legion. And maybe you absolutely despise it and are gearing up to eventually betray them. Or maybe you find it liberating and stick with it. Maybe you realize that other than the armor's paint scheme, nothing has really changed. Your warband is the same, your faith is the same, and you still have the same complicated relationships that you had before. This time it's with the Black Legion warbands rather than the Wordbearers from before. During the next Black Crusade, your host ends up joining with 2 other warbands, one from the World Leaders and one from the Death Guard. And between you and those factions' 2 other leaders, you are by far the strongest. Thus, you become the de facto leader of this triumvirate. And you weren't sure about this at first, but by the dark gods, what an amazing blessing this ends up being. Who would have ever thought that you would have both khorne berserkers and plague marines under your control? This combined fighting force is truly a thing to be feared. Except there's a problem. None of these factions actually get along with one another. Maybe
Of course they don't. You think the top of the top gets along with each other? And the thing is, right, and obviously I like to revert a lot of stuff back to real life. In real life, the top of the food chain, the top of the people in whatever area you're in, they may get along with each other. But I'm talking about at Warhammer, bro. Oh man, they beef. This is beef. This is war, bro. Warhammer, I said Warhammer. Sorry, Wes just asked like 1,000 questions a minute ago. Oh, what did they do this? What if we paint our armor black? What if we actually join them up? What if we join them then try to betray them? Bro, at the end of the day, bro, there is like it seems like everybody's just running around with this. Bro, I feel like everybody's just running around with their heads cut off, but at the same time, it's like everybody wants to be careful, but at the same time, like it's confusing. It's like everybody wants to be careful of what the next man's gonna do to them. But at the same time, they have the power to do the same thing of the next man. They have the power to betray like their friend. They have the power to lie to them. They have the power to hide something from them, even though the person that they're helping out, has been really honest with them, showed them everything or whatever. At the end of the day, bro, like I said before a minute ago, bro, in this franchise, bro, there's nothing. Especially when you're in the chaos. Man, I wouldn't trust nobody in the chaos. I'm not partnering up with nobody. Bro, this ain't YouTube. This ain't an ad. What are we talking about? I'm not partnering up with nobody. You're not getting... Bro, I'm just being honest with you, bro. If I have my own little clip, bro, like in the chaos, bro, are you drinking... Bro, are you drinking the worst of worst, bro? I'm not partnering with nobody. And I'm not saying that... Like, listen, I trust people in my life, but at the end of the day, bro, whenever it comes to, like, the chaos, bro, nobody's getting my trust, bro. If I see a guy, bro, with a thumb like this in the chaos, bro, on I-95 in the chaos, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Yeah, I'm driving right past him. I just gotta be honest with you. Listen, call me what you want, bro, but listen, I'm gonna still be alive. Well, I'm in the chaos, so I'm half dead anyways.
You managed to keep them in line, despite fights constantly breaking out between the rank-and-file warriors. Maybe there's a constant clashing of faiths and mounting pressure from the other warband leaders who are trying to undermine you and take control for themselves. Or maybe you were never the leader at all. Maybe the Death Guard warband was far stronger to you, and it is the Plague Champion that is in charge. You view him as unfit to lead, so you start spreading rumors that he is weak and needs to be replaced. Whatever the case may be, the Triumvirate's reputation casts a long, dark shadow. Other warbands can't match you in size and begin to pay fealty, serve you, or simply flee whenever you enter their territory. Although this started as a simple alliance during a Black Crusade, it is now morphed into a legitimately powerful warband. Maybe it will last for the next 8,000 years as a ruthless and terrifying force of destruction that lays waste to its enemies and anyone that would dare stand in its way. Or maybe the whole thing falls apart in about a month or so. You're alone again. After all of the fighting, the making and breaking of alliances, the mutinies, and the constant infighting, your forces have dwindled to a third of what they were at their peak. You need more men. In your studying of the ancient lore that you secured from the Thousand Sons many years ago, you've discovered a sorcerous way to breed new space marines. Maybe you do it yourself, or maybe you contract out the job to a fallen apothecary from a different legion. His skills are legendary, but he's also absolutely insane. Not to mention his asking price is high, a lost artifact on a demon world or deep in the heart of the Imperium. Do you risk even more losses to pay his price? And maybe you do it. Maybe you go on a crusade of your own for this lost relic and lose even more men in the process.
I ain't doing that.
After you hand it over and he begins his work, you realize just how unreliable he truly is. He screws it all up, and now you're in an even worse position than you were before. But maybe the apothecary's good on his word. He's fully capable of doing this, but the sorceress method from before is a bust. This is going to have to be done the old-fashioned way, and he's going to need some raw materials, gene seed, and lots of it. In order to acquire this, you're going to have to go hunting for space marines, and they're not an easy target.
I'm not messing with them.
Just sit around waiting to...
Facts, nah, they're on go. No, these guys right here, they are on go. I'm not doing that. These guys are, bro, they know how to fight, bro. They're like the multi-tool of all space marines. I'm not doing that.
Get attacked.
Nope.
So where do you find them? Do you target a loyalist world that is rarely defended? Do you lay an ambush for them out in the void, or do you lure them into a trap with a distress signal? Do you go hunting for loyalists, or do you prey upon your fellow Chaos Space Marines? How important is the purity of bloodline to you? Does it even matter? Do you start targeting warbands of the word bearers, or do you care if the gene seed comes from the Imperial Fists or the Ultramarines? Maybe things just aren't going to work out with this apothecary. Maybe you need someone who's a bit more capable. And maybe you need to start cutting deals again with the Dark Mechanicum, a faction that has also devolved into countless city-states and independent worlds within the Eye.
I'm not cutting a deal with nobody. I know I sound like the most boring person ever, but you have to understand, bro. These guys, man, bro, we're in the chaos, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not cutting a deal with nobody. None, bro. I'm sorry. Listen, I may sound like the most boring guy ever, bro, but you gotta understand, bro. You can't trust nobody. Listen, you cannot trust nobody in the chaos, bro, or not even just Warhammer in general. Unless you're Titus, boom. Bro, you know what? I'll trust you. Unless you're Vulcan, obviously, my sweet, glorious King Vulcan, I'll trust you. Man, bro, we're in the chaos, bro. Bro, listen. Bro, I'm not trusting nobody. Bro, I'm not getting nothing for you, bro. Go find the parts by yourself, bro. Come on, bro. This ain't Minecraft. I'm not about to reach into my inventory and drop something for you. Are you dumb? Nah, I'm good.
Allying and oath-breaking in much the same way that the Chaos Space Marines do. Maybe you make a deal to protect their forges in exchange for them establishing gene seed and marine production facilities for you. But what are you signing up for? A forge world within the Eye of Terror is a rare and valuable piece of territory. What happens if they get invaded by a force much larger than you and you can't protect them? Maybe you run and earn the eternal hatred of the local Mechanicum, or maybe you get away clean. Maybe you decide to fight it out and suffer horrendous losses. Maybe you win easily and the allies of the destroyed warband end up coming after you in the future. Maybe you fight this war only to be completely annihilated. You're only left with a single ship and a couple of dozen marines. And the Mechanicum, having also been severely injured in the fighting, can no longer follow through on their part of the deal. You've wasted a lot of time, ammunition, and marine lives in a campaign that profited you nothing. You're not out of the game yet, though. You can call upon the members of your own bloodline and seek out wordbearer territories in order to use their facilities to make new Marines. Maybe they welcome you with open arms. Maybe they see you as one of the best champions their legion has ever produced. Or maybe they cast you out. Maybe they call you a traitor, a deceiver, an oathbreaker. Or maybe you sinned against them in some other way that you had never even considered. Maybe after all of that, you get your Marines back up to fighting strength. But there's another problem. The Thrall army that serves you has mutated beyond usability. Or maybe they were lured away by another cult's faith. Or maybe they just ended up getting slaughtered in a particularly bad battle. Now you're massively underpowered in terms of traitor guard and human slaves. What do? Do you raid a bunch of prison worlds? The slaves that you would pick up here would certainly be easy pickings, but they would be untrained. Do you try to convert a guard regiment? Well, that would certainly be a better option, but it would require careful sedition work, and your only trusted co-leaders spending multiple years away from your warband to convert the human armies. Maybe you could send your less trusted underlings, but then who would the humans end up serving? Would they end up as an army secretly waiting to betray you? Maybe you go to the Black Legion. You sign a contract with them saying that you'll serve for a period of 66 years, and in exchange, they will teach your apothecaries and fleshsmiths the way of the berserker surgery.
That's a 360! Oh, no. No. Man, that is a 360. I'm paying them. Man, it's like college out here. This is a scam!
Now you have berserkers in your army. But what if another wordbearer warband considers that a dangerous collusion with an enemy legion, even though up until this point you've been perfectly loyal, and you know other wordbearers warbands who took the same deal? Now you have another fight on your hands. But what about that period of 66 years that you signed up for? What happens to your stronghold while you're away raiding the Imperium? Is it hidden well enough within the Eye of Terror? Maybe it is, but what if time and space distorts and its location is revealed? Do you leave a garrison of your best troops behind to defend it? Well, maybe you do, but then you're going to be taken to the battlefield without your best warriors. Maybe you return and another warband has destroyed your base or occupied it for themselves. So now you have to begin a costly war in order to retake your own fortress. Maybe you let it go and you carry on as a fleet-based warband, forever suffering a lack of resources compared to those with fully operational and well-supplied homeworlds. Maybe you go back to Sakaris, the Wordbearer's capital demon world, and end up as just another minor host using it as a base of operations. Now, instead of having your own world and your own garrison, you are one warband amongst hundreds, sharing and competing over territory. And if you thought you had problems before with grudges, oaths, betrayals, and future treacheries, all of those things are now magnified tenfold. You look around and you see warbands united only under the threat of violence by an intimidating commander, whereas other warbands, at least on the surface, seem to honestly be bound by brotherhood. And then your eyes fall upon the fleet of the host of the Shrieking Wound. You remember these guys all too well. They failed to come to your aid a few centuries ago and betrayed the Legion at the Battle of Zahir by taking too long to commit to the fight, constantly weighing their options rather than acting. Maybe they say the same thing about you. Tension is always rife, even between blood-bound allies, for glory in the eyes of the Legion's power players and in the eyes of the gods. Maybe you stay, maybe you go. Maybe. That's what it's like to be a Chaos Space Marine.
Shout out to weshammer for that video, man. Thank you guys so much for watching, man. I'm just know I would never in my life even consider being a Chaos Space Marine, man. Comment down below what you guys think about it. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel there. And I really appreciate it. Bro, shout out to weshammer for this video again. Make sure you guys check him out in the description down below. And yeah, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel. Bro, make sure you guys follow my Twitch down below. I'm gonna be playing some 5v5 POV Fortnite FPS. I'm excited. Woo! Let's go, man. Shout out to all you guys. Bro, the Game Awards are tomorrow, by the way. So listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. There's gonna be a Warhammer video up tomorrow. There might be, bro, listen, depending on, man, I don't know, bro. They said we might get some crazy trailers tomorrow too. So, bro, listen. Something else might be up too. We might have a trailer reaction to some important games. Bro, I heard that the Game Awards tomorrow it's a must watch. That's what I heard. Listen, we don't know what we're gonna get, but listen, there's gonna be an early Warhammer video, probably at around 2 to 3 p.m. Make sure you guys go watch that. I'm excited. Thank you guys so much for all the support from the last month, bro. Just not even from the last month, but just overall, just in general, man. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. I'm very grateful for you guys, man. I really appreciate it. Other than that, man, I'm gonna see you guys at the next one. I'm out. Make sure you guys follow my Twitch, by the way, at the bottom of the screen. Did you do it? Appreciate that, bro. See you guys later. I'm out. Peace out, everybody.